A killer house on the outskirts of the town. Everyone who lived there is now dead. Don't miss out. What otherworldly force resides in there? A new investigation by the psychics. You're watching Psychic Investigations, a channel of exclusively true and astonishing stories. People who call themselves clairvoyants investigate incredible mystical phenomena and complex, high-profile criminal cases. Nataliia Frolova lives in a regional center in Ukraine. She works as a seamstress at a local factory. She has a retired husband, 2 adult daughters, and grandchildren. They all live together in a small 2-room apartment. The family had always dreamed of a beautiful house outside the city, but with modest incomes, they never managed to build one. A few years ago, however, Nataliia inherited a large 3-story house in the suburbs. But the moment the new owners crossed the threshold, they felt a presence, rustling, strange sounds, and breathing behind their backs. It felt as if someone invisible was watching their every move.
We'd approach the door and feel scared to open it, as if something was holding us back.
I immediately felt pressure in my chest and head. Thoughts start to scramble. Everything feels chaotic. All I wanted was to get out of there fast.
This inexplicable fear is felt not only by the heir's family members, but also by outsiders, neighbors, and passers-by.
I walk by. There's a bus stop there, and it's just terrifying to be near that house.
To find out what's wrong with this seemingly ordinary estate, Nataliia turned to the psychics for help. Our project's participants, Serhii, Kolesnichenko, and Olga Kalinova, took on the case.
My name is Nataliia. We're afraid of this house. Not just to live in it, but we're afraid simply to be inside. We feel constant discomfort and sense someone's presence.
I sense a lot of negative energy here. But we need to examine the house, right, Serhii?
All right, please go ahead.
The house feels like a vortex. If you were to stay here overnight or for a long time, you'd start to feel drained, like your strength is leaving you.
Yes.
What's behind these strange sensations? The house was built by Natalia's son-in-law, a businessman. In the 1990s, such a house was a symbol of financial success.
Even as we approached, I felt someone watching from the window. And on the 3rd floor, I saw a slim young man, under 30.
Are you the owner of this house? I'm asking because I don't feel your energy here.
Yes, I am now.
Nataliia inherited the property a year ago, after the death of her sister, Olena Voitkovich. This beautiful woman was only 50 when she died in this very house.
I see fire.
Yes, the house did burn.
There's a geopathic zone here. It's like 2 universes intersect here. Perhaps there used to be a cemetery here.
The house stands at the end of the street. Just 10 meters beyond the fence lies an old village cemetery. Yet Nataliia says the cemetery frightens her less than her own property.
There was an elderly woman here. She radiates strong negative energy.
She's gone now. She was a blood relative of the former owner.
This elderly woman doesn't wish anyone in this house.
Olena and her husband, Serhii, built this house on land that had belonged to his grandmother, but she was firmly opposed to the construction.
Grandmother died very slowly. People said she practiced witchcraft.
Could it be that the grandmother returns to the house after death to frighten its new owners?
Another woman also lived here. She was beautiful and paid a lot of attention to her appearance.
You're talking about my sister. She loved taking care of herself and spent time in front of the mirror, always grooming.
And she died here. Not a natural death.
It was suffocation. She couldn't breathe.
And it seems you didn't immediately find out what had happened.
We spoke on the phone on the evening of the 29th. I called her the next morning, but she didn't answer. My brother and I arrived here, but no one opened the door.
Nataliia only gained access to her sister's house on the 4th day after her death, with the police and local officials.
According to police, the 50-year-old woman died in an accident. Carbon monoxide poisoning caused by a fire that started due to an electrical short.
Emergency services concluded the fire started from a space heater placed near the couch where Olena usually slept.
Strangely, the couch she always slept on burned down to the frame, but the one next to it was untouched.
Moreover, it's unclear how she ended up under the stairs on the floor below. And how could she have suffocated from carbon monoxide if there was no fire where she was found?
It gave the impression that there had been a struggle or a robbery.
A painting had fallen and the clock was lying on the floor too.
Her body was positioned as if she had been hiding.
My sister's death was highly mysterious, though the police and fire inspectors call it an accident.
The psychics are now in the room where the fire occurred. Since the former owner's death, almost nothing has changed in here. The family only removed the burned couch and cleaned up the shattered ceiling mirrors.
The woman is still tied to this space. That usually happens when someone dies an unnatural death and their soul remains partially unrested.
Family members also suspect someone else was in the house that night.
When my sister stayed home alone at night, she always kept the cat with her. It was the only animal they allowed in the house, and it was always by her side. But when we entered the house, the cat was gone.
More than one death occurred in this house, didn't it?
Yes.
As I said, I sensed a man watching us when we entered.
Yes.
And his death was strange, maybe cardiac arrest or something similar. He was sitting in a peculiar position.
It looks like murder.
Or cuts. There should be ruptures in the tissue.
Yes.
The terrifying things the psychics describe are true. 2 years before her own death, Olena found the body of her 27-year-old son, Roman, in the house.
That morning, Olena went to the market. Her son stayed home, watering roses in the garden. She returned about 40 minutes later. He wasn't outside. She went to his room on the 3rd floor and found him sitting on the couch, slumped to one side. A knife lay beside him. His mother said when she entered, she tried to grab the knife, thinking he was wounded and could be saved. But by then, he showed no signs of life. Aside from the fatal stab wound to the heart, experts found no other injuries on the young man's body. Nothing was missing from the house, so the police concluded that Roman had taken his own life.
Olena claimed it was a murder. It happened right before Easter. They were preparing to celebrate. She went to the market and was absent for half an hour. When she came back, her son was gone.
No one believed it was suicide. No one. Even now, nobody believes it.
But what really happened? Was the young man truly murdered? Besides, the family claims in her final days, Olena herself was deeply afraid of something.
She didn't say who exactly, but they're being watched.
She told Nataliia, "If anything happens to me, don't you dare think I did it myself. I would never take my own life."
Your sister was very lonely in the end. You stopped seeing each other as often.
We drifted apart. Olena withdrew into herself, and we mostly spoke by phone. She simply couldn't go on without Roman. He was her life. She lived for him and because of him. And then that light went out.
She cried all the time. For the first 2 months, she cried around the clock. We were afraid she might harm herself.
It's as if this woman programmed her own death. I see her looking at herself in the mirror thinking, why do I need this life?
But what does it all mean? After all, Olena had told her family not to believe it was suicide if anything happened.
May I use the table?
Sure.
There was another death earlier, most likely her husband. He too died unnaturally.
Yes.
The cards show this happened long ago, somewhere between 1992 and 1996.
In 1995, her husband left and never came back. He was found 9 months later.
Olena's husband, Serhii, was 33 and co-owned a fairly successful food trading company. He built the business from scratch.
He started out as a shuttle trader, traveling to Poland and buying different trinkets. Small stuff, but it brought in good money. That was his first capital. By 1992, after the USSR collapsed, Serhii already had his own business.
A friend came to see him, the guy he died with. They left for a meeting. What kind of meeting it was, I don't know. Serhii never told Olena.
Neither that day nor the next did Olena's husband return home, nor did his business partner. The family realized something terrible had happened and went to the police.
Someone close to them knew they had gone to another region and immediately raised the alarm when they disappeared.
Olena couldn't sit still. She tried to find her husband herself, reaching out to his influential friends and business partners.
She even contacted the media. His photo was shown on TV.
And only 10 months later came a call from the police. They told Olena her husband had been found dead in a forest outside the city.
They were both buried in the ground. She was informed when she was called to the morgue for identification.
There must have been fractures.
It was a gunshot wound.
But before that, he was tortured. There were injuries.
Wojtkovich and his companion were severely beaten. Then they were locked in a basement and shot several hours later. Then their bodies were transported to another area and buried. 2 members of a local gang were arrested. Back then, attacks on entrepreneurs were a common thing. Gangs extorted money for protection and killed those who refused to pay.
At first, her husband's friends and business partners supported Olena, but soon, occupied by their own business, they forgot about her.
In the end, Olena and Roman stayed all alone.
And then, after a while, Roman was gone, and then Olena.
Negative energy accumulated here for many years. I sense spirits moving back and forth.
I see a young man. He's clearly bound to this floor.
That's Roman's bedroom. There's a study there, too.
A state of panic. A strange feeling before everything happened. Your nephew was in a strange, emotional state.
Yes. He and Olena had withdrawn lately. They distanced themselves from us. She was panicked and felt like someone was watching them.
About 6 months before her death, she started saying, "I wonder what they've prepared for me." Everyone around her was dying in some strange way, so she'd say, "I wonder what they've prepared for me."
We need to go to the cemetery to connect with the spirits and gather more information.
The son is unrested.
Why?
Certain debts remain. His body is buried, but his soul is still in the house.
So is it Roman's spirit that prevents the new owners from living in the house? But who took his life, and why? Is there a connection between the deaths of all 3 family members?
His father wishes to communicate. He's trying to contact me. He's saying something like, "Look in the mirror." A double reflection. He's showing a vision of Roman in a double reflection. Was there a mirror in the room where he was found?
No.
Was there anything that could reflect? A surface?
A window, glass. I think the door had glass panes.
I feel such boundless love here since childhood. The girl was gorgeous. Her future husband carried her school bag and showered her with gifts.
Olena and Serhii fell in love back in school. They sit together during classes. Their parents always knew the couple was meant to be.
The man worked hard, so his family would never lack anything, and the son wanted to be just like his father. They were so happy together.
Yes, that's true. The house and everything the father achieved, it was all for Roman and Olena.
Serhii spent 3 years building this house. He wanted it to be the most beautiful in the area, but he didn't get to live here with his family for long.
Did he have a twin brother?
No,
It feels like he had two faces, so I thought maybe it was a twin. Or perhaps he lived a double life. I wouldn't rule out that some people knew him as respectable, while others saw his completely different side.
I feel the same as you, Serhii. At home, he was a wonderful husband. He did everything for this woman and his family. But at work, he became very tense. Big money, fierce competition.
He turned into a wolf, so to speak. He became more aggressive. Why did I ask about a mirror in the room? Mirrors often store information. If we go to the location, maybe we'll see something. Remember at the cemetery, I mentioned the father's words, "Look in the mirror." On the way here, I recalled that there used to be a mirrored ceiling here.
yes.
Some mirror fragments remain. They're soot-covered, but mirrors tend to retain what they've seen. These mirrors witnessed the fire, a massive release of negativity. They absorbed it.
That's why we decided to remove the mirrors. It was unbearable to be in that room. My brother and I would go up there and couldn't stay more than 2 minutes. It felt like something was pressing down on us.
That's the negativity I was talking about. It's reflected in those mirrors. Even before the fire, they absorbed information about the people who lived here, their actions and thoughts.
There was a lot of blood in the father's life. He led a double life, a loving husband and father at home, but in reality, he was involved in shady dealings. Many tears were shed because of him.
We knew Serhii as a decent family man. We didn't know the other side.
Those were the wild 90s. People earned however they could, each in their own way. I sense blood on his hands. I'm not sure the money used to build this house was clean.
In our family, we never discussed the business or work, only the house and the family. Everything beyond the gate was shrouded in darkness.
Yet local police officers still remember the man well. He was a powerful criminal figure in the 90s, known by the nickname Yoy.
He organized a criminal group that dealt in the protection of merchants. Back then, they were called cooperators. He wasn't just an average man, he had respect and influence. Few of them thought about tomorrow. They lived one day at a time. And if you didn't kill, you would be killed one day.
On the day Serhii and his companion disappeared, they were headed to a meeting with members of the criminal underworld. The meeting was set in a deserted location, on the grounds of a former summer camp.
They traveled there to resolve a dispute between a businessman and criminal elements from another city. The fact that they showed up with just 2 people demonstrates their confidence. They clearly believed they were untouchable, and that their status alone would shield them.
That overconfidence cost the 33-year-old man and his companion their lives. But what happened to his family?
You can't build happiness on someone else's tears. From the beginning, everything in this house was set up to destroy people. What happened to your sister was a pure accident. No one killed her. It was suffocation as the result of the fire. Carbon monoxide poisoning. The blood, it came from ruptured capillaries and vessels, through the mouth, ears, and nose. As for your nephew, I can say one thing. At the cemetery, I had a moment where I thought it was murder because I had the vision of the mirrored reflection, like one young man hitting another. But here, on site, it became clear the death was violent, but nonetheless self-inflicted. The image I saw was him striking himself.
He was pushed to it by a force. That force placed the dagger in his hands, and it also pursued your sister. Your sister knew everything. That's why she was afraid of that force. She guessed her husband had made the money through others' suffering.
So will the new owners never be able to live in this house? How can they avoid deadly danger?
All the negativity has already played out. The only thing left are the remnants of the mirrors, which still hold that energy. Remove them so nothing remains in the house. Then, it will be easier for you to move forward with the property. And whether you sell it or keep it, that's up to you.
All right.
And it's vital to learn how to forgive. Start by forgiving the former owner of the house, the one who brought this negative energy here.
All right, I'll try. The psychics helped us understand everything better. We're going to remove the mirrors, and then we'll see what we do next.
The demon came from the underworld to burn those who exposed its secret. What does the family hide behind closed doors? In this episode, the clairvoyants will face a true fiery poltergeist. The supernatural entity is trying to burn down a family of ordinary farmers from a village not far from Ukraine's capital. 2 years ago, Valentina, the eldest daughter, felt the presence of the evil spirit while she was cooking in the kitchen.
I suddenly felt a cold breath on my back, as if it were a human breathing.
The woman rushed to the next room to call her mother. When they both came into the kitchen, they witnessed a true horror.
Smoke was belching from the kitchen. The stove caught fire. It melted so much that even the metal melted.
The mother and the daughter were so scared that they couldn't move. They claim they could die at any moment. Luckily, Serhii, Natalia's husband, came in running.
He quickly extinguished it all. He stopped the fire from spreading.
The cause of the fire was a curtain that fell on the stove. However, neither the mother nor the daughter still can't understand how it happened. The point is that the window where the curtain hung is at the opposite end of the kitchen, several meters from the stove.
It seemed like somebody took it down and brought it there.
Ever since, firefighters have been to the house dozens of times. Finally, another fire took a life. It happened when a hay storage building next to the farmer's house caught fire.
It started burning solidly, and it was impossible to approach it because the shingles were bursting.
There were no electrical appliances or wires nearby. It wasn't possible that the hay started burning because of the heat, as there was still snow lying outside.
I don't know how it's even possible. It's really horrible.
As the head of the family, Serhii ran to extinguish the fire, and he almost got killed. A burning beam broke off the ceiling and fell right in front of him.
The fire was on the 7th. 2 days later, he was taken to the hospital. He had a heart attack because of the stress.
A few days later, the man died.
I didn't know what to do. I screamed and I yelled because I couldn't even imagine he was gone.
Before he died, he wanted the psychics to come, as I think he sensed he was soon to be gone.
The most powerful clairvoyants in Ukraine, Olena Kurilova and Hayal Alekperov, agreed to help the family.
I had a vision. I saw a man standing in a cemetery in front of someone's grave, and his clothes seemed to be on fire. The man's energy confused me. It was strange, not like that of spirits. And my jinns told me they shouldn't have disturbed him.
Two hours later, the clairvoyants arrive in the village where Natalia's family lives.
Hello.
Hello.
We're so happy you came to help us. Thank you so much.
Please accept our condolences.
The psychics are tuning into the yard's energy. But suddenly, a violent wind starts blowing.
Yes, it can knock you off your feet. You look at it.
It was all quiet. The sun was shining. But when they stepped into the yard, a whirlwind began. I got really scared.
The next moment, Nataliia began weeping for no reason.
She squeezed my hand tightly. "What's wrong, Mom? Why are you crying, Mom?" She squeezed my hand so tightly that my ring bent. "Mom, what is it? Are you unwell?"
Nataliia, the man from my vision was standing behind you. Walk off, quick. What did you just feel?
I felt like I was standing in front of a fire and my skin was burning. As if I were standing in the middle of a fire.
I suddenly saw an image. Nataliia in her youth with some stranger, both handcuffed. Nataliia, tell me please, was Serhii your second husband? Before you married him, you'd had another marriage, hadn't you?
Yes.
What was your first husband's name?
Vasya.
The book tells me that Vasya is gone too.
Yes, Vasya died when he was 37. He had a heart attack.
It's still hard for Nataliia to talk about that. Her first husband, Vasya, died 11 years ago. After that, she was left alone with 4 children.
He supported me a lot. I felt good with him, and I knew that we could find a way out of any situation and that everything would be all right.
Now I feel that your second husband, Serhii, knew Vasya well. Were they friends?
Yes.
The first several years after her first husband died were very hard for Nataliia. Serhii, the friend of the family, supported the widow. Later, he suggested that they marry. The couple had 2 children of their own.
At that moment, the cards showed that the supernatural entity was attacking the family out of vengeance and some kind of romance.
I thought, what if it was Natalia's first husband who was haunting the family? All in all, she married another man who, on top of that, was his best friend. Nataliia, do you have your first husband's photo? I'd like to work with it.
Here he is.
Valentina, you're not his daughter. You have different blood.
Yes.
Valentina only learned that Vasya wasn't her father when she was 12.
Yes. I met him when I was 7 months pregnant with Valentina.
I felt that every time Nataliia mentioned Valentina's biological father, she was barely holding back her tears because the man broke her heart.
The young man was your first love, and I sense he wasn't local.
Yes, yes. He was from afar, from Rivne Oblast. He arrived here to work in the field.
The young man who used to confess his feelings to you betrayed you.
He said, "It's not my baby. I don't know her." And then he left.
I hear the words, "Get rid of the baby or go away." Your mother told you so.
Yes. She did tell this. She told me to go away and never come back.
And you even tried to commit suicide. I see you in the water.
I didn't know what to do. I decided I didn't want to live.
I see 2 young men who came to your rescue.
They dragged her out of the water by her hair.
There's a letter, a love letter. It changed your life.
Yes.
It was a letter from your future husband, Vasya. Nataliia and Vasya had been friends since they were children. The boy lived in Moldova, and he came to visit his relatives in Kiev Oblast each summer. After the young man found out that Nataliia stayed all alone, he told her of his feelings.
They told him, "She's pregnant and the baby isn't yours." But he said, "I don't care. I'll marry her. And after the baby is born, she'll be my daughter. I'll accept her as my kin."
I was confident that the man who loved his wife all his life would never try to kill her or her children.
It's not Vasya, but I have a feeling that he's somehow connected to the murderous entity. But what kind of supernatural force has been ruining the family by burning everything in this yard?
When I looked into the mirror, I couldn't speak. There was a real demon in it. I couldn't believe my eyes. So I decided to consult the cards. The demon card. It's not a spirit, it's a demon.
Shock. Does this mean the family is being attacked by the demon?
I have a feeling Vasya was also its victim. He was first. And your second husband, Serhii, was second. The jinns are telling me you can only stop the demon if you uncover its secret. But what is this secret? I suddenly saw an image. A young mother, in the middle of the night, hands Nataliia a baby saying, "You took Vasya, so take him too." Hold up, did Vasya have a wife and a child before he married you?
He had been married. Then he left the wife and the child and arrived to live with me.
It turned out that when Nataliia found a boyfriend, Vasya tried to forget her and even married his neighbor, Svetlana. Soon, the couple had a daughter, but the marriage didn't last.
I'm receiving the information that Svetlana was trying to return Vasya, and she came to see you in the middle of the night with a baby in her arms. Is that right?
He told me he wasn't going to live with her, and he didn't need her.
Svetlana began demanding that Nataliia return her husband.
I told her I didn't steal him from her, and he came himself. She brought me her 18-month-old daughter and said, "Here, look." I was so shocked, so stupefied. How could she even leave her child with a stranger? The baby was so little. She was crying. Mom, I didn't know what to do.
Pregnant Nataliia spent a week taking care of her husband's baby. But then Svetlana returned for her daughter.
I had a vision of the woman standing in front of Nataliia and telling her words that sounded like a spell. Something about hell, death, and the child you would give birth to from Vasya.
Yes, she was shouting.
I feel that after those words, you almost lost your child.
Yes. It barely gave birth to him.
Dmitro was the first child Vasya and Nataliia had together. The woman claims the delivery was complicated, and as a result, her son had a bad brain injury.
He was born with cerebral palsy. The doctor said he'd hardly be a normal child.
But Nataliia took every chance to help little Dmitro live a normal life.
Thanks to your motherly patience, perseverance, and prayers, your son indeed began to walk and talk.
Yes, he started walking, and later his diagnosis was canceled, and the doctors said he was absolutely healthy.
Olena, where are you going? Olena, what do you see?
In the mirror, I saw an image of a dark-haired woman next to us. I see her. Here she is. The woman.
Yes, I see her too. She looks exactly like Nataliia.
Who could she be?
I don't know. This is probably another face of the demon. Such entities can assume any appearance if they wish.
She's close to you. It's a young woman. Who is she?
My sister, Olena.
Were you really so alike?
Yes.
She's been murdered. Here's the murderer card.
What happened to your sister?
Her husband killed her.
It happened on my birthday.
All the guests had gathered. Aunt Olena was supposed to be there too, but she wouldn't show up. We thought her kids might have gotten sick or something like that.
The celebration ended late at night. However, a few hours later, somebody knocked on Natalia's window. It was Olena's youngest son.
He came early at 6 in the morning and said, "Aunt Nataliia, my mom died."
While Nataliia was celebrating her birthday, her sister's husband beat her to death.
There wasn't a single part of her body that hadn't suffered. He beat her so badly that the autopsy revealed not a single organ was left intact. The injuries were lethal.
The sentence the man received for the crime he had committed was only 7 years in prison only.
Nataliia, I hear your thoughts. You've been blaming yourself.
We danced and had fun until 3 in the morning.
But now, instead of the celebration, you only have tears. And since then, you can't celebrate your birthday. Am I right?
After it happened, she stopped doing it.
Your sister wishes to help us. She says the demon must be sought at her grave.
Can we go to the cemetery?
Yes, we can.
This is incredible. I'm looking at your sister's photo. You really look alike.
Yes. My dear sister.
Olena Kurilova suddenly takes off her scarf and gives it to Nataliia.
This is a present for you.
Thank you.
She didn't have a chance to bring it to you.
Nataliia says that 16 years ago, she really asked her sister to buy her a scarf as a birthday gift. Olena even bought it, but she never had a chance to present it.
Your sister says thank you that you didn't leave her children and took care of them.
I suddenly saw Olena's spirit point at some grave. Search for his grave. His grave. Whose grave is it?
Vasya's.
Vasya's? Let's check it.
I don't understand. The book says the demon came from this grave after you buried him. It's so strange. You seem to have buried the evil spirit with your husband. At that moment, I realized the entity was in Vasil's body while he was still alive. It was just like it had settled in him. This is all because of the magic of the woman who was trying to return him. I saw the image of a young fair-haired woman showing somebody a photo of Vasya, saying, "May he be with me. May he leave Nataliia." There are different ways to summon demons, and one of them is through fire. The evil spirit that possessed Vasya's body emerged through the flame ritual. This was the cause of the frequent fires Natalia's family experienced.
The good man and a model father begins changing.
He began drinking a lot. I remember it.
A family man, your husband began cheating on you. Vasya, who had always loved you so much, had affairs with other women.
I was told he had several women, but I never believed it.
The demon. That settled in Vasya was eating him day after day, until it absorbed him completely.
Your husband's heart stopped beating because a body can't live without a soul. This is why I felt that the demon was buried in the grave together with Vasya. But I couldn't understand why it returned.
I saw Nataliia standing on her husband's grave, shouting out terrible words. You shouted at him, "You're not a man, you're a demon." Is it true?
Yes, yes.
You said you'd drag it from the grave, didn't you?
I was at the cemetery and said these things.
The book says it was several years after his death. But what made you say those words?
Here's the card, a child and the harm he did. It's some damage or evil. You were 7 or 8 when he approached you, saying he wanted to play.
Yes.
But the games weren't games at all. They were dirty games.
I don't wish to speak about it.
I realized that Valentina was embarrassed to speak of it publicly. And so she took me aside. There was no violence.
No, there wasn't.
But it was something dirty. He took off your underwear. Then he touched you.
Yes. And he asked me not to tell Mom. I feared they would argue because of me. I was little and didn't understand anything.
Nataliia only found out about the accident several years after Vasya's death.
Mom and I were watching a program. It was about such things. I began weeping. I left the room, and Mom asked me why I was crying. Then I told her everything.
The evil spirit commanded Vasya's body and thoughts, forcing him to do awful things.
The words Nataliia said on the grave worked as summons for the demon. That's why he returned to our world and began destroying the family.
It was then that I began feeling someone's presence.
We must send this entity back to hell. I need your help. If the witch summoned the demon with fire, we can expel it using water.
Thank you so much.
The clairvoyants ended the ritual themselves at the nearby water body.
Kyle, now I'm positive this family is going to be all right.
Love is often compared to fire, which can give you warmth or burn your soul to ashes. But true fire almost destroyed this family because of love affairs and family secrets. A house of horrors. A woman caught a spirit trying to take her child to the other world on camera. Why is the poltergeist ravaging? The psychics are going to unveil the mystery hidden in a grave. A family is afraid to lose their long-expected daughter, Lisa, and is asking for our help. The parents are sure an otherworldly force is trying to kill the baby girl, as awful things have started happening to her recently.
I heard a massive rumble. I came and saw the lamp lying next to her. She was in a baby walker. I don't know how it didn't hit her head.
There was no chance the girl could reach the lamp in her baby walker. Strange though, but the heavy lamp seemed to have fallen itself.
This was so horrific.
Last month, out of a sudden, the heavy chest of drawers fell next to the baby girl. If she had been just a step closer, she could have died.
I checked it myself. It's extremely hard to overturn the chest. I can't even move it without help. This was the point where I started to feel genuinely frightened.
On top of that, the mother has been having the nightmare of the evil force taking away her daughter.
In the dream, there were arms stretching from the wall. They were huge, and they took Lisa.
And now, even when she's awake, the woman sometimes sees a man in the armchair next to the baby's playpen.
I was sitting on this couch, and I turned my head and saw a man sitting in the chair, gesturing to me to be quiet. I was paralyzed by horror and couldn't say anything. My throat got constricted, and all of my limbs were suddenly immobilized.
Olha films her daughter's every step for their family archive. And the thing she saw in the recent video stunned her numb. The camera caught some strange gray spheres next to the baby.
First, I thought it was probably a mouse running or something. What could be the explanation to it? This is the video that proves I'm not losing my mind, and something's really going on here.
Why did we contact you? We'd like to know where it came from and how we can rid ourselves of it.
A gypsy clairvoyant, Rubina Tsibulska, and an Azerbaijani psychic, Kayal Alekperov, took up the investigation. Rubina is already in the village where Lisa's family lives. Kayal is supposed to arrive later. The girl's mom is waiting for the psychics, while her father is traveling on an urgent matter.
Hello.
Hello.
Give me your hand. You fear for the child a lot. The feeling is contagious. My heart is thumping now.
It's like something is trying to take her away.
I need to work with the girl.
Little Lisa is in her stroller in the yard. Her scared parents never leave her alone. Her Aunt Hannah, Olha's younger sister, is looking after her.
I'll need to perform a ritual to receive the information from her. The ritual isn't too powerful not to harm her.
That's what matters most.
Let me charm the water. Now we need to put a little on our hands. Dear God.
What? What do you see there? I'm scared.
I see a cradle. It's her cradle. And in the cradle, there's a bottom. Something like a pit. It's deep. It's a grave.
Does the clairvoyant see the baby in the grave? But who's trying to take her to the netherworld? To find it out, Rubina goes to work inside the house.
Let's check the cards. A woman. She is the source of your daughter's problems, and she's from the world of the dead. This woman. She looks delirious. It's like she's partially mad.
My aunt committed suicide last summer.
Name?
Nataliia.
I see a tunnel and there's a scream echoing in it. What could the tunnel be? Is it a railway runnel?
It's a well. She jumped into the well. An artificial well looks like a long tube, a tunnel.
The woman jumped into the well in her yard only a few before she turned 60. It was Olha's birthday.
I needed to understand if Olha's aunt was harming the little Lisa. For it, I had to contact her, and I needed to do it through someone whose blood was closest to hers.
The deceased woman's sister, Olha's mother, and Lisa's grandmother lives in the neighboring village.
Hello, Mom, we need your help. She's coming.
Meanwhile, Kayal Alekperov is already approaching.
I had a strange dream. It was about a woman. She was wet through. She looked up and said, "I didn't want to do it." And she asked to forgive her. I saw a children's room without walls. And a man was standing over the cradle. His feet were covered with roots growing from the underground. "Stop! There's a girl over there!"
The psychic stopped the van at a junction. Olha's house is nearby, around the bend. What worried him so much?
A little girl's spirit. She says she died on this junction. She says she was hit by a vehicle, and her mom saw it. "Why are you here?" She says, "I'm waiting for the girl from that house."
This is incredible, but that is the house in which the little Lisa and her parents live. Is the spirit from the junction that Kayal Alekperov sees waiting for her? Can the Lisa really die?
The girl says, "When it's completely dark, we can leave this world. This is it." She disappeared. Her words worried me a lot. A junction is a portal through which souls come and go to the netherworld. She is waiting here for another soul. We need to hurry. We can't wait.
In the meantime, Olha's mother meets Rubina Tsibulska.
I want to summon her to know if it's her spirit that's bothering the baby. Oh God, I feel her fear. It seems she's recoiling from you.
Her sons and husband forbade her to speak to me.
The deceased Natalia's husband and 2 sons didn't let her speak to her sister and elderly mother because the latter bequeathed her house to Yevgenia's family.
We used to be very close. We were an organic whole.
It was hard for Olha's aunt to bear the conflict between the families. Eventually, she developed a severe depression, which eventually led to her suicide.
She quarreled with her children. I feel like they tried to force her away from home.
Yes, not long before it happened, they decided to send her to an asylum. It was Thursday, and they were supposed to take her there on Friday. And so she jumped into the well on Thursday night.
This is so horrible. Let's summon her. Through fire. Natalia's spirit, reveal yourself. She won't answer. She refuses to appear. Just a sec. Kayal can help me. Let's ask him.
Hello.
Kayal, the cards showed me a woman. She's dead. And she's out of her mind. Olha claims this is her aunt. You see? I'd like to ask you to also check it and see why she won't answer our summons.
Give me your hand, please. I can't forget my dream. I saw a woman, she was wet all over, and she said, "Tell them to forgive me." I didn't want to do it. She says she loves you a lot, and she would never harm you or your children. And she didn't respond to you because she feared you wouldn't forgive her.
We forgave her long ago.
Olha's aunt had nothing to do with it. Probably, it wasn't even her in the cards. This meant there was another dead woman who was insane. I couldn't understand, though, who she was and what danger she posed to the girl.
On my way here, I saw a girl spirit. She was over there, on the junction not far from your house.
Our neighbor's daughter was hit by a bus.
She said she'd been with her mom.
She held her hand as they walked.
As it turned out, a bus ran over the 6-year-old daughter of Olha's neighbors. She ran to the road so suddenly that her mother couldn't stop her and prevent the disaster. The girl's spirit told me she was waiting for some girl, and she pointed towards your house. She wants to take her to the netherworld with her.
It's just horrible.
And she said one more thing, that it will all happen when it's completely dark.
Kayal, what could this mean? What's she talking about?
What I can't understand is why she didn't simply say at night. In any case, Rubina, we don't have much time.
It's just horrible.
I need to see the baby.
Yes, let's go to see the girl.
The baby girl for whom her family is so concerned is sleeping peacefully in her room.
I felt the girl had been a step from death several times, but something saved and protected her. There are otherworldly forces in this house. The meeting with us can activate them, so it's dangerous for the child to be here.
The scared Olha calls a taxi and asks her sister to take Lisa with her.
I'll work in your daughter's room.
Wait, I hear something. Can you hear it?
Yes, it's like a baby babbling.
Yes, like a baby.
It's weird, but the noise comes from Lisa's room, from under her bed. Everyone who is inside hears it.
Yes, I also heard a baby babbling.
Just a moment. Hush. Hush. Wait. Oh, God.
A black cat. God, such a huge black cat.
My God. My God.
Can I go out? My goodness, what is it doing in the house? God.
God under Lisa's bed.
God, the huge black cat. How did it get in here? The door and the windows were closed.
Isn't it yours?
I don't have cats.
It's not our cat.
Drive it out. Make it leave, quick. But the place Cat chose worried me most of all. Why was it hiding under Lisa's bed?
I'm looking at the wall and see a man trying to go out of it.
Olha saw a man sitting in the armchair at night.
The man was sitting in the chair, showing me to be quiet.
I need to work in the room where you saw the man. We've got to hurry. It's getting dark. Do you remember what the girl from the junction said about darkness?
The thing Kayal Alekperov sees in this room makes him call everybody else immediately. It's incredible, but the chandelier is swinging like it's an earthquake.
What is it?
Oh my God, why is it swinging so much?
Has anybody hung themselves in this house?
Do you see the man here?
Yes, I do. He lived here long ago. The man was wealthy.
Yes, well-dressed. Whenever I see him, he's very well-dressed.
He wears spectacles. His handwriting is neat. I see him write something and then hang himself.
My God, it's terrible.
Is the man's spirit the otherworldly force that's attacking the house? But who is he? And why is the hunting the girl? It's the man from my dream. Apart from your aunt, I also saw him. He was standing by the cradle in the children's room without walls.
He is the owner of the house.
When he was sitting in the chair, he was calm and confident, like he owned this place.
Was it here? On this spot?
Yes, it was here.
Was Lisa somewhere around?
Lisa was here in the playpen.
The house is quite old. It was built in the early 20th century.
The house is old and some rich landowner lived in it. His family name was similar to ours, Radzinski or Radwinski. He committed suicide.
I asked the spirit, "Why are you showing yourself to this woman? What do you want from her?" And he said he was helping to protect her daughter.
Is he protecting her?
The child was supposed to die twice when furniture fell on her. He says he prevented it. I saw that the man had a beautiful wife and a little daughter. But then something terrible happened. They both died from some awful illness. And the man, unable to bear the grief, hung himself on the chandelier in the house. Now his spirit is helping the little Lisa to oppose the evil force because she reminds him of his daughter. If you like, I can help you get rid of the spirit. But he says it will harm you because he's on your side.
Let him stay, I don't mind. But then again, what do the arms stretching from the wall mean?
He wanted to show where the danger to your daughter comes from. Therefore, we have to search Lisa's room.
The cat wasn't there for no reason.
The cat seems to be connected to this place somehow, and the fact that it suddenly appeared in the closed room gives me an idea that it wasn't a cat at all.
I'm being led there. Move it further. Move it further. My God, I feel emptiness. It's a pit. A bottom inside the cradle. Like a pit. A pit. A child is buried here. It's a child's grave.
This room was added later to the old house.
I feel the energy of a cemetery.
I see a woman, she's pregnant, it's her third or fourth child because I see many children around her. She kills her baby. She drinks something. It's some sort of poison.
I see the woman give birth to a dead baby. It's a girl. And it seems she buried her right here.
I know what they're talking about.
Really?
In that old part of the house, a woman lived, and she indeed had many children, but she drank heavily, and she didn't give birth to them. Instead, she performed abortions herself and buried them.
She killed the baby at the final stages of her pregnancy. It was an almost formed human being who had a soul. This room was added to the house later. This killed baby's grave was disturbed during its construction, and so her spirit woke up.
And when you installed the cradle over the grave, you reinforced the connection with the dead baby.
I didn't know about it.
And she's been trying to take her away.
This house is full of ghosts.
Then I finally realized what the cat was. It was the spirit of that poor, buried baby girl. She was sitting over her grave under the little Lisa's bed. The flying gray spheres were also her spirit, as spirits can assume different shapes.
I couldn't even think I was walking on the grave. This is horrifying.
It's unbelievable. The light went off in the house.
What is it?
The light's off.
Here it goes.
This is it, the complete darkness. Rubina, this is what the girl from the junction told me. She says, I'm waiting for the girl. When it's completely dark, her soul will appear.
My God.
When the light went off and the darkness shrouded us, it was the sign that the portal on the junction was open. We need to pacify the buried girl's spirit, so she won't pose danger to your daughter. And we also need to put a protection spell on your family.
We've got to hurry to let her spirit go before the portal closes. Her soul's leaving. It's flying away.
May she forgive us. We didn't know.
Always keep this in your house. Take a piece of cloth, preferably green. Wrap it in it. It's your protective charm.
Now, when nothing threatens Lisa's life, the girl can come back home.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. I am really grateful to Rubina and Kayal. I appreciate what you did.
Several months after the investigation by the psychics, Olha called us to inform us that the things had returned to normal.
Nothing falls or collapses. Nothing like that happens anymore. Thank you so much.
This is beyond comprehension. The family almost lost their little girl because of something done by a perfect stranger. The ghost of a woman is haunting her friend. What does the restless spirit want from the woman? And what horrifying truth will be revealed? Don't miss out. Can the psychics prevent a dreadful crime? Nataliia from Ukraine is asking the psychics for help because she's being haunted by the ghost of her deceased friend. The other woman's body was found in the well, not far from Natalia's home. Natalia's late friend's name was Tatiana. Nataliia says that she first encountered her spirit in a nightmare.
I was falling into something like a pit or a well.
Suddenly, Nataliia saw her friend in the well. Her large blue eyes were filled with tears.
Her eyes were wide open. I'm still terrified to think of it.
And the following next day, Natalia's 3-year-old son nearly died. She and little Danilo were feeding their horse when Nataliia felt someone's presence.
It felt like someone was standing behind me. I turned around, but there was no one there.
And the next moment, her son started crying and pointed at something invisible.
Fear filled his eyes as he was pointing there, saying, Mom, look, Mom, I'm scared.
Nataliia wanted to pick up the boy to calm him down. But at that moment, the horse got scared too. It reared up and accidentally struck little Danilo in the chest with its front hoof.
The horse nearly killed him. We rushed him to the hospital with his collarbone broken.
In the hospital, the boy recounted that near the stable, he got frightened by a terrifying woman who was staring at him and weeping. Nataliia is convinced it was the ghost of her deceased friend. However, back then, she couldn't even imagine that she would see her ghost in her yard a week later.
I was terrified at the time.
The dead Tatiana looked at Nataliia, crying, and seemed to be shouting something. Then, right before the mother's eyes, the heavy fence collapsed on the boy, who was playing nearby.
I heard him scream and then saw him under the fence.
The new fence, securely attached to the posts just a year ago, somehow came loose from its hinges and fell on the boy. Nataliia still can't understand how it could happen.
It's as if someone pulled it or pushed its top.
Little Danilo ended up in the intensive care unit. He had serious internal injuries.
I feared I would lose my child.
Miraculously, the boy survived and recovered. But Nataliia doesn't understand why her late friend keeps coming to her and why she's posing a threat to her son's life. After all, Nataliia and Tatiana were very close.
We were classmates and sat at the same desk. We were always together. I loved her very much.
But after school, their paths diverged. The only thing Nataliia knows is that several years ago, when Tatiana was 4 months pregnant, she left her home and disappeared. Later, the locals accidentally found her body in the abandoned well.
They searched for her for about 3 weeks, and then the students found her. There's a school nearby, and the well is over there.
How and why the young pregnant woman ended up in the well is still a mystery. Tatiana had no reason to take her own life. Moreover, she always dreamed of having a child. Yet, the police closed the case as a suicide. Does the late Tatiana want to tell her friends something about her death? Could it be the reason for her visits?
It can't be that she simply started haunting me. There must be a reason behind it.
Clairvoyants Olena Kurilova and Yaroslava Fedorova agreed to help 21-year-old Nataliia.
Yesterday I had a horrifying vision. There was a man in it and he threw a girl into a well.
It's strange. Natalia's friend was found in a well, too. And now, Olena Kurilova sees a girl being thrown in there. What is that supposed to mean? Could there be 2 victims of the same killer? But who is that man?
The man is from Natalia's family.
If somebody from Natalia's family is involved in Tatiana's death, perhaps the other woman keeps coming from the other world, seeking for revenge. But who is the girl from the vision? I had a dream of a boy. In his eyes, I saw a reflection of a man attacking a woman. I thought maybe this boy witnessed Tatiana's murder. But who is he? This boy might help us save Nataliia.
Back then, no one yet knew that a series of gruesome murders, all driven by love, awaited us.
Hello. Hello. I'm afraid I could lose my son.
When I started working with Nataliia, I saw that her aura was gray. This happens when somebody is in deadly danger.
Does it mean that, apart from Natalia's son, she's also in danger? But she claims that nothing is threatening her. Only her son is constantly at risk, while she just sees her friend's ghost every now and then.
Do you have Tatiana's photo?
There she is, standing behind her. She's thin, and you both look like each other.
Yes. She's standing behind me as if her hands are on my shoulders.
She says she took her own life.
A shocking revelation. So the pregnant woman committed suicide. But why?
Your pregnant friend killed herself because of love.
She's saying something. She really wanted this child. She wanted a family.
And then some conflict occurred.
Yes, that's true.
It turned out that shortly before her death, Tatiana told her friend that she'd had an argument with her husband. However, Nataliia still doesn't know the reason behind the fight.
The father of the baby said he didn't want it. He distanced himself and claimed that the baby wasn't his. I see him beat Tatiana. She cried and she shouted, but neither she nor her baby were wanted by anyone.
I saw her jump into the well. But the most terrifying part is that once she was in there, Tatiana realized she had made a dreadful mistake and that she and her baby should live.
She tries to get out of the water.
She yells, asking for help.
But nobody hears her.
She regrets killing her baby.
But what does she want from me?
She's trying to warn you about danger.
The late Tatiana is trying to save her friend from death. However, her spirit's energy is so strong that she constantly provokes deadly situations for Natalia's little son.
If we understand where the threat to Nataliia comes from, the spirit of her friend will stop coming and nothing will endanger the child. What's threatening Nataliia? A living person.
Wait, I think I'm having a vision. A man throws a little girl into a well. She's about 5 or 6 years old. And then I realized that it was a scene from Natalia's past. It's you.
Yes.
Did somebody try to drown you in a well?
My stepfather grabbed me by the legs and swung me. And then he just let go. And I don't remember the rest.
It happened in the village where Nataliia was born and lived with her family.
It was when Mom wasn't home. The neighbor was in the garden and he saw him lowering me by the legs. He ran over with a ladder and took me out of there.
Little Nataliia nearly drowned in the ice-cold water. The girl suffered multiple injuries and spent a long time in the hospital.
He was trying to kill me.
It turned out that Natalia's father left his family when she was only 4 years old. Her mother, Larissa, soon remarried a fellow villager, but the seemingly kind man quickly turned into a real monster.
I see wounds that look like burns, and a man's hand doing like this. What is this?
He extinguished matches on me. My entire body is scarred by cigarettes and matches. He choked me and tortured me. I screamed so much from the pain.
Nataliia says that the man tormented not only her, but also her 2 brothers.
Another vision. Burning coal. He's pushing you into it.
He tried to shove me in the stove to burn me.
My God, you've been through so much.
I don't even want to cry anymore. The tears fall on their own.
He was an awful monster.
He enjoyed doing it.
Yes. He constantly threatened Mom that he would do something terrible if she had him thrown in jail. But she went to the police anyway. They arrested him and put him in prison for 15 days. But then he was released and came back home. He broke down the door and said, "Either go out of the house or I'll set it on fire."
I understood that this scoundrel kept returning to his wife because she forgave him.
But why did the clairvoyants see Natalia's stepfather? Could it be that the threat is coming from him?
When I looked into Natalia's eyes, I saw her standing over someone's bloodied body, and then she fled in fear. I didn't want to continue the conversation outside, where people were already gathering.
Strangely enough, I didn't sense Natalia's or her family's energy in the room at all. It wasn't her house, and I couldn't understand why she was deceiving us. I was about to ask her this question, but then Olena said something that stunned me.
Your stepfather killed your mother.
Yes.
Oh God, were you there?
Yes. Mom and I were lying down. I had finished my home task, and Mom was knitting socks, and then he came.
It happened in 2008. The tyrant returned after yet another arrest for assaulting the children.
He said, "I'll stay for a couple of days." And Mom said, "I don't want to live with you. I'm calling the police." But he replied, "Oh, the police? Let's go talk."
He's not just a brute, he's an inhuman beast. He beat her terribly. He disfigured her.
He tore her to pieces.
She looked into his eyes and realized it was the end.
Then he came out covered in blood and said, "I killed your mother." And then he sat in the room and lit a cigarette.
This is unbelievable. Within minutes, the man brutally killed his wife, while her 3 children were in the adjacent room. And afterward, he stayed in her house, calmly smoking a cigarette, as if nothing had happened.
I saw her lying there, unrecognizable.
She was gasping, "Run."
Yes, I was little and I got scared, so I ran out of the house.
Oh my goodness.
I simply realized I had lost my mother. How could I go on without her? I loved her so much.
When did your mother die?
on Valentine's Day.
The man was arrested. He served 5 years in prison, but was released on parole for good conduct.
The killer of Natalia's mother is now free. Could it be the stepfather who poses a threat to her?
But I still had no answer to the question. Who was the boy I had seen in my dream? The one who witnessed the man attacking the woman? Where is your younger brother now?
Vadim was adopted by a family from the US. We were taken to different orphanages. They scattered us like dogs, each to a different place.
The children were distributed among different orphanages due to their different ages.
You stayed all alone. What horrors Nataliia and her brothers went through as children. Her youngest brother was only 4 years old when he witnessed the murder of his mother. But the card said he wasn't the boy from my dream. What's this?
The books fell. I got scared and shocked. They fell off the shelf.
I immediately realized it was the spirit of Natalia's mother, and she also felt her presence.
Could it be a sign from her?
She loves you so much.
I know. I love her too.
The deceased woman looked at me crying. She couldn't speak because her face was disfigured. I asked her spirit, "Is the threat coming from your murderer?" But she shook her head. Quiet, quiet, quiet. The spirit pointed to a woman standing in the crowd by the window. A woman's spirit pointed to you. She was this woman's mother. Do you know her?
I live in the next house, but I've never seen her before.
What's your name?
Yulia.
You don't know her either, do you?
I don't.
Nataliia, it's not your house, is it?
I didn't sense Natalia's or her family's energy in this room at all. It wasn't her home.
The house isn't mine.
This is incredible. Whose house is this then? And why did Nataliia invite the clairvoyants here?
I had a horrifying vision with Yulia. A man's hand stabbing you with a knife. Yulia, who is this?
My husband.
Did he stab you?
5 knife wounds.
Just like Natalia's mother, this woman was also attacked by a man she lived with and loved.
When that woman told me that she had been stabbed with a knife, I felt a shiver.
Yulia, why?
I didn't want to live with him.
Like my mother.
It happened on April 25th, 2016. There were no signs of trouble. He was working abroad, and he didn't even inform me he was coming home.
Yulia explains that by the time of the tragedy, she and her husband had lived together for 10 years and had a 6-year-old son, but their relationship had long been strained.
He had a young mistress. She kept calling me, telling me to let him go.
Yulia didn't want to live with an unfaithful husband.
I asked him to leave me alone. He couldn't accept that. He kept calling me, saying he loved me, and then out of a sudden, he decided to come home. He rang the doorbell, and I answered the door. My son and I were home. I asked, "Why did you come?" He asked me to give him something to eat.
Like he got hungry after a long way home?
Exactly, yes. He took the boy in his arms and told him, "You and your mom will visit my grave." But the boy is only 6. I got upset and pulled him out of his arms, and I told him, "Go away." But he ran to the kitchen and reappeared with the knife and began stabbing me.
Yulia's husband tried to kill her for the same reason as Natalia's stepfather killed her mother. Because she didn't want to live with him anymore.
And your little son, he somehow protected you.
He saved me. He pulled at him from behind and shouted, "Daddy, don't touch Mommy!" And he stepped back. Then I grabbed my son's hand and ran out of the apartment, knocking on all doors and asking people for help.
The neighbors called an ambulance and the police. In the hospital, Yulia nearly died from severe bleeding. She spent 2 days on the brink of life and death, but survived in the end. Yulia's husband was arrested and sentenced to 6 years in prison.
This is the boy I saw in my dream before the investigation. It was Yulia's little son. But why did I see him in the dream? I looked into the cards and froze. Natalia's child might soon witness the same violence that Yulia's son did, the father's abuse of the mother. The threat to you is coming from your husband.
Does your husband beat you?
Yes.
Nataliia explains that she met her husband, Serhii, right after leaving the orphanage. They fell in love and soon got married. At first, took care of Nataliia, but then everything changed.
He throws me on the bed and either hits me or yells. Then he hugs me and says, "I don't know what came over me." He can easily cripple or kill me.
And the most disgusting thing is that Natalia's husband takes advantage of the fact that there's no one to protect her from his violence.
He often tells her, "Where will you go? Who will accept you? Who in the world needs you but me?"
Nataliia says she won't leave her husband simply because she has nowhere else to go.
So I just endure it.
Nataliia is afraid she might repeat her mother's tragic fate.
It's like I'm going through what she went through. Even my little son understands that things aren't good in our family.
If Natalia's husband isn't stopped, it could end very badly for her and for her son.
Why are we in someone else's house? Is it because of Grigori?
Yes. He yelled at me, threatening, "I'll beat you."
A few days ago, Nataliia told her husband that she'd sought help from the psychics to protect their son. When he learned about it, Serhii once again assaulted her. This is why Nataliia decided to deceive him, pretending she was visiting her friend.
My friend helped me rent the house.
The next day, because of icy rain and slippery roads, the clairvoyants and Nataliia barely made it to the village where she lives with her family to talk to her husband, but it was in vain.
I don't harm anyone. I'll handle it myself.
If you don't wish to lose her and your son, and if you want to avoid prison, never raise your hand against her.
It's going to be all right.
The man didn't hear us. He won't change his attitude toward his wife.
As we were bidding farewell to each other, I whispered to Nataliia, "Take the boy and run."
A month after the investigation, Nataliia called our office and told us she had made a difficult decision and found courage to leave her husband.
I found a job and I am working now. Everything is going fine. I finally feel happy. I'm really grateful to you and the clairvoyants.
Of course, family is the most important thing for each of us. It should be cherished and valued. However, it's not worth saving a family at the cost of your own life.